What's up? It's Hair Jordan. So I'm gonna be showing you today my creative space where I write music and where I'm gonna be filming my music video tonight. And yeah, this is pretty much my office. This is like a storage garage thing. I took everything and put all the stuff in that corner. I just stacked it and piled it all up and threw away a lot of it. The room was full of stuff. But that way I had a nice big open room to film a music video. But over here is my office. This is where I actually work from. I try to keep it pretty clean. I don't like having a lot of clutter on my desk, so I try to keep it pretty clean. I always have a notepad right next to my computer. That way if I get any ideas or thoughts I want to jot down, I can just do it on paper. And I actually have a couple of them. There's two right there. Normally I only have one there, and usually it's blank, but this is my to-do list for the day. I like to start the day off with the blank notepad there. I don't know, it's just a lot faster than writing stuff down on my phone, you know, or computer. And also, like, I actually look at that. Whereas if I jot something down on my notepad on my phone, like, I never look at it ever again. So it kind of gets lost, but keep it right there. And then I actually see the stuff I want to see. So yeah, this is stuff I've been working on. This is a beat for the album I made. Actually, you know what? That might not be on the album. Never mind. Forget it. I tried to write to that and I didn't like the way it turned out. So I'm either gonna rewrite the lyrics or just scrap it or sell that beat to somebody else. 'Cause I do that too sometimes. I make beats for other people. Yeah, this is where I create. It's very important to me. I'm very minimalistic, so I don't like having anything extra. Like this table is just empty in case I ever need table space. I do have some junk on the floor back here, which is very unusual, but I've been busy lately, so kind of stuff piled up. But normally it's like super clean. I like it to be clean. I don't like clutter. It just helps me think and be creative. Also, looking around, I like the rest of the room to be pretty clutter-free too. It just helps me for some reason. Over here, got the couch and that nice light, you know what I'm saying? This random ass chair here. And then two chairs by the fireplace because it gets cold. And then all the junk, but there's not anything I could do about all that. Like, it's just storage stuff and it has to be here, so. Yeah, so I'm about to shoot a music video right here, up against this blank wall. When I first set up my desk in here, the walls were all green and they were really gross. Like that, you see behind me, the green? And they were also really dirty and old. It's just a converted garage. It had been painted like that for a long time. So I painted all the walls gray, except for that one, because I couldn't get to it because of all the junk. So yeah, I like painted all the walls, cleaned the room, and just made it livable, workable for me. Because I just can't. When the room was all messy, I felt like I was like losing my mind. Like I couldn't just write music or make videos. I just wanted to get up and clean. It was like really, really bothering me. So I guess usually when I write a song, there's not like any specific way that I do it. I do have like a couple different notepads on my phone of just thoughts, words. I have a lot of like lines or names of songs, what would be a good song title, and I just have so many of them listed in my phone. So if I hear a melody or something in my head, sometimes I'll sit down at the piano and mess around and see if any of those words make sense with the vibe of the song that I'm playing, and just like read through the list of all the lines that I have, kind of like song starter things. I just take those from wherever I can. If I get inspired by something, I pull up my phone, I write it on the notepad, wherever I'm at. Watching a movie, listening to other music, reading, or watching YouTube. It could be anything, even a freaking billboard like advertisement. Any word that strikes emotion, if I feel it, I'm like, oh dang, I gotta write that down, whatever it was. And it could be stupid, where it's like, I'm probably never gonna use this. But you never know. When you're in the creative zone and you need something and you're like, I don't know, maybe having writer's block or whatever they call it, you can look through your list and be like, well, let me try one of these. And you just go through and try a bunch of stuff until you find something that works. And if none of that stuff works, maybe it'll lead you to finding another line or word, whatever, to fill in the blank of whatever you're trying to write. Yeah, that's kind of how I come up with lyrics. Usually it's like stuff that evokes emotion in me, and I take that train of thought and turn it into something kind of personal, take it from my own life experiences. This album, Darkness, that I'm writing, I started because I was in a very dark place. After my tour, I didn't really have a place of my own to go to yet. So I stayed at a hotel for like 2 nights before I moved into my place in Los Angeles. And I basically just like locked myself in the hotel room for 2 nights. And the first night I just wrote music because I didn't have a microphone. Second night I borrowed a microphone from a friend and recorded vocals in the hotel room to the instrumentals I made the night before. Made up the words right there on the spot and recorded them. And those were the songs Good Luck Replacing Me and Hollow, which I already released. I did it all basically in 2 nights or 1 night. I think I also did Imperfections, which is another song on the album that I haven't released yet. It's not done. I didn't finish it that night, but I started it. So 2.5 songs in 1 night, or 2 nights, I guess. 1 night with the microphone. First night I didn't really do much. It was almost all of it was 1 night. I didn't mix them. I had to mix them later, but because I was just more borrowing the microphone for 1 night, so I was like, I gotta get as much done as I can. Then like a month later when I had my own place, I lived at an artist house and somebody was moving into the basement, and the night before he moved in, because I had roommates in my room and I didn't have a place to record, I was like, hey, can I borrow your room? Like, you're not moving in until tomorrow, so the room's empty now. Can I just like stay the night in there and just record all night? He was like, yeah, dude, go for it. So I went down in the basement where people couldn't really hear me. I lived at an artist house, so there was like 20 people who lived there. But they could still kind of hear me, but it was a lot more isolated. And I had a microphone I bought from someone I lived with for like 50 bucks. He won it in a drawing, and he was like, you want to buy this? Give me like 50 bucks or something. So I was like, dude, I'll give you 50 for it. It was a cheap microphone, but it was definitely worth 50 bucks. So I went down to the basement and I worked all night down there too, and I made up some instrumentals and recorded them. And that's when I recorded the songs Damaged Goods and Dangerous, which I also released already. Wrote and recorded those songs the same night, and then I finished recording Imperfections. So 2 nights or 2.5 nights, I wrote and recorded 5 songs from the album. Same with those, I mixed them later. Pretty much that's how they are on the album, is the way I recorded them. I know in Damaged Goods there was 1 line I had to record, like a backing vocal. So I recorded the 1 line later. But basically, the whole thing was done. All 5 songs were done in 2.5 nights, and then I just had to mix them, which took forever. And then the rest of the album, written here, just over time. And it's taken me a lot longer. In a way, like having that limit of having 1 night can be good because you force yourself to get a lot done. And the song Damaged Goods and Dangerous, I wasn't even sure about either one of those songs. I kind of didn't like them at first, but I was like, that's all I have. Can't record anything right now. I just didn't have access to a place to record. So I was like, I'm gonna make it work. So I made it work, and I ended up really liking the song. So I'm super glad that I messed with them, with the vocal recordings. And I changed the instrumentals and everything to like make it sound better. It didn't sound that great initially, but in the mixing, I fixed it. For me, part of the creative process is having a limit. I've done challenges for myself before where I'll set a timer for 2 hours, and I'll say I'm gonna make a song in 2 hours. As much as I can get done in 2 hours, I have to stop. So I'll try to like write the instrumental, import it into Cubase, and then get on the microphone, record some vocals to it, just see what I can come up with. Because in 2 hours, it goes by like that when you're trying to write a full song. But it makes you just go with your instincts and you don't second guess yourself. For me, that is like really good. I love doing that as an exercise. I love finishing songs. That's a big thing, is I used to start songs a lot and never finish them. So now I try to finish songs, unless it's just really bad and sucks and I just scrap it then. But most of the time I try to finish it and export it. That's my goal, is to export it. Even if it's just a demo version of the song, export it out of my DAW and I upload it to my Google Drive. That way I can listen to it on my phone. So even if it's not that great, even if it's just a really rough cut, I still do that just as habit. For one, it makes me like, oh, okay, I'll do the final, like the first 50, 75% of the song is fun. You're feeling it and you're like, wow, this is awesome. But then about halfway through, 2/3 of the way through, you start to get bored. You're like, I don't want to finish this anymore. Like, it's not that fun anymore. And so you want to quit. So I make myself, okay, I'll export it, put it on my Google Drive. That way I have something done. And so that makes me kind of go the last mile or 2 or whatever the saying is. That's not a saying. But I have that goal. I have to export it and upload it to my Google Drive before I stop. Even if it's only like a minute long. Even if it's just a chorus. I mean, whatever. Because then later, it'll be days or even weeks, sometimes I'll go through and I'll listen through my Google Drive, all the songs I have on there. And I'm like, oh, I forgot I had this. Like, that's actually pretty good. Or sometimes it's like, that wouldn't work on its own, but I can steal the melody or steal that line and put it into this other song I'm working on. So it's like inspiration for me. That's a big part of my creative process, is having a goal in mind by the end. Like, I need to get something accomplished. I can't just sit here and fool around on the piano and fool around writing lyrics and not get anything. That's just not productive for me. I just don't get enough things done that way. The night I was in the hotel, first night when I started writing Darkness, I just got really drunk and I just wrote so much, paragraphs upon paragraphs, just how I was feeling. And I got drunk because I was in a very bad place. I was very emotional and sad, and I kind of wanted to bring that out even more. So I just kept drinking and just kept writing out all the dark feelings that I was having and thoughts. And that has kind of been my go-to for this album, is I go back to that it's like pages and pages of just writing. It doesn't like rhyme. Some of it doesn't make sense on its own, but it's just my thoughts, my dark thoughts and feelings. And so I've kind of based the songs off of a lot of those thoughts and feelings from that first night. I was going through that list that I wrote originally the first night when I just got real drunk and just kind of dealt with all my problems. And really that night in the hotel room helped me a lot. Writing out everything, going there, you know, thinking the dark things, the bad things that were going on in my life. I went there. Mentally, I went deep. I thought about it. I talked about it, not to anyone else, just on paper, just me and myself. You know, I was in total solitude, which is how I prefer to write. And I just got it all out. I didn't hold anything back. And that's why this album's called Darkness, because it was all the freaking dark stuff, every dark thought and feeling that I had experienced. This isn't just like made up. Oh yeah, that would be a dark scenario. It's like, no, these were the real scenarios of my life, and they got pretty dark. So, I mean, that's what it is. That's what this album is, and that was kind of my creative process for it. Sometimes I'll sit down and I'll just make beats on my drum machine and on my keyboard, and I won't write lyrics at all some days. I mean, sometimes they're just like very basic, very like skeleton, just like, it's just like the drums and maybe like a bass line and a melody or something, and it's not mixed super great or anything, but I do it to get it down. Later, sometimes I'll just spend the whole day on the microphone and I won't make any instrumentals. I'll just take all the instrumentals I have, listen through them, see if I feel anything. I'm like, oh, okay, I could maybe use this sentence here, and that could be the chorus or something, and then I mess around with it, record. I try to keep my initial recordings as the final version if I can, because a lot of times that captures the emotional state that I'm in. A lot of times I can't recreate that, no matter how much I try. So years ago when I started doing music, I would just like record my demo version and be like, oh, it's just a demo, I'm gonna re-record it later. And so I wouldn't really care about the quality of it going into the microphone. Sometimes I couldn't recreate that emotion. I couldn't get back in that place. So I was like, dang, why did I record this so crappy? So now when I record, something comes into my head, I have the microphone settings right. It only takes a second. I make sure that I record it, everything the right way, do all the basics. That way, if it sounds good, I'll keep it as a final version. Just like I did for those 5 songs. Those could have been just demo versions, but they were actually the final versions because I record them right the first time. And then if I need to, I go back and re-record it. Not to mention, it's a waste of time too. If it's good enough, then keep it. I mean, I'm super perfectionist and I'm super OCD, but I also understand the need to finish. I understand the concept of good enough. And that is something that's like really important. A lot of people don't know when to say when. They'll just keep re-recording themselves 100 times, keep editing and second guessing everything. I don't like to do that. I don't like to second guess myself all the time. Yeah, that's kind of my creative process. That's how I wrote this album. I'm really, really excited to share it with everybody. It's taken me longer to write the second half of the album because just other things going on. Life happened, you know, and I have other things going on. So, but having like a day or two to myself to just be locked up in solitude and write and record is always the best way for me. That's how I write. I mean, I've written songs with other people and for other people, but usually it's alone, and then I'll send them what I have. That's how I prefer it. Some of the songs on the album have guitar. This guitar right here, I'm really bad at practicing, so guitar is hard for me. It took a while for me to figure out how to record the guitar and get a good sound. And it was very time consuming. I wanted to do more songs on the acoustic guitar, but it takes forever to freaking record it and get it sounding right. Like, I don't like it, man. I like piano. I have a pair of really good headphones. I use the shit out of these, but I've had these for years. And this is actually what I usually mix on. I've started using the speakers for mixing, but for the most part, I use my headphones to mix. Just because I've done it for so long, that's what I prefer. And they're really good. So I think that's all I wanted to say, but I don't freaking remember. I don't know, there's a freaking stupid video about the creative process. My album's gonna be out in a couple weeks, by the way. I'm not done with it yet, but as soon as I'm done with it though, I'm gonna order CDs and get the new merch bundles put together and upload it, get it put on iTunes and Spotify pretty much right away. I'm not gonna try to like wait and promote it or anything. I've talked about it for long enough. Like I just need to freaking get the album on Spotify and all the streaming sites. Yeah, I'm really excited for the new shirt. Can't wait to show you. It has my face on it with all my face tattoos. I mean, it's just like I'm on the shirt, like not like a cartoon of me. It's like a real portrait of me on the shirt. It's in black and white and it's got red letters that say Air Jordan. I'm just so stoked about it. Yeah, those aren't available yet either, but when they are, they'll be on my merch store. Gonna do another merch bundle deal. Get ready for that. I think I might do something special for the first 100 people who order the merch bundle. I don't know what yet though. I can't think of anything that I haven't done yet. I don't know. I guess I'll just figure it out as I go. I took my YouTube plaque down. I had that hanging up on the wall over there, and I had like a purple red light that like shone down from the ceiling on it. It was pretty cool looking, but oh, and I also had a poster, like a motivational poster next to it. I have like a bunch of motivational posters, and I would like change it like every day, or every couple days. I took it down, one, because I needed to shoot a music video on the blank wall, and two, because I was just like, you know what? I hit 100,000 subscribers over a year ago. Like, it's been over a year, and I still haven't hit 200,000. So I'm like, why am I still staring at this thing on the wall? Like, I should be proud that I did this so long. It just feels like so freaking long ago that I hit 100,000. And I'm like, I need to not live in the past. Like, I'm doing something new now. So I took it down. I just don't want to really look at it right now because I'm not making a lot of videos, kind of doing other stuff, music. So it was motivating to me for a while, but now it's motivating to me that it's down because I'm like, all right, I got to do something else now. That's cool. So my gear is like, all the gear I have is not that expensive either, by the way. You can totally make your own music, your own album, all that stuff without, you don't have to spend like a ton of money on gear. So I just like have been piecing together all this stuff, and it's not that expensive. This makes a big difference. If you're recording in a room that's not like sound treated, it's awesome. I'll link to that down below as well on Amazon. I don't know what those cost, maybe $100. I had to buy a lot of new stuff this last year because well, not all my stuff, most of my stuff got stolen. So that's why I've kind of been piecing together a new setup. I got a mini fridge here. Pretty nice, huh? It's actually my brother's. One of the perks of having an office set up in a storage garage is you get to use other people's shit because they're storing it here. Yeah, so some people smoke while they write music and record. I don't really smoke while I write. I've never done it, actually. It always makes me tired, so I've never tried it. All the musicians I know are like, dude, you gotta smoke and then record and then write. And I'm like, I mean, I've never tried it, but I do like to drink while I'm writing music. Not get like drunk or anything, but I like to, you know, have some shots of whiskey and sometimes have a beer too. It helps me because I'm uptight and I overthink a lot. So I'm just kind of more relaxed and things flow out smoother and easier. I don't really second guess myself as much when I'm drinking. So I just kind of, I am more in tune with my primitive side, I guess. And that is what I want to communicate through this music. So drinking has helped. The first night I was really drunk though when I wrote out most of the concepts for the album, and I was just in a really dark place, and I was trying to get myself in an even darker place, which is maybe dangerous, but hey, that's you know, it's for the art, I guess, if you could call it that. But anyways, I'm talking for a really long time. Frick, I did not plan to talk this long for this freaking video. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna hate editing this. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching now to the end, leave a comment below and let me know that you watched the whole freaking thing because you're freaking awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to show you all this music. I guess let me know what's something you've been listening to lately. Comment a band or artist or song that you've listened to a lot lately. Yeah, let me know what's on your playlist. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.